Hi, welcome to my journey. My name is Cherie. I just got finished shopping at Sam's. I got 7 items and I ended up walking out of there having spent $78 and some change. Okay? But what I got was, things that I like, that I know I'm going to eat, right? What surprised me was that I did pick up like some eggs, right? And their eggs, they wouldn't allow me to buy the eggs on Snap. So I was like, what is this? Plus, they wouldn't let me buy the ham that they had on a special price, $10 off. Spiral cut ham, $10 off. On the EBD either, right? So I'm not sure what was up with that. Could be because I had to refresh, my EBD. But I did try the eggs. The eggs said nay, nah, right? I had to pay cash for them. They were brown pasteurized eggs. That's weird to me, right? How did eggs not become a food item? Right? I can see how, if it's a special priced product that may have, have been pre-cooked, right? Yeah, like the rotisserie chicken. I could see the rotisserie chicken kind of being, rejected from Snap because it is a pre-cooked item. But it's not, it wasn't. But the ham, right? Yeah, $10 off a ham, off of Spiral ham. That's some good ham. I promise you it's good. And I picked up one that was like $25 regular price. It would have cost me $15. But it would have cost me $15 that I couldn't use on Snap. So I didn't buy it. I put it down. I bought me some trail mix. This trail mix has walnuts, pumpkin seeds, dried blueberries. I picked up a box of Quest potato chips, right? They were marked down. I picked up a box of Puff cookie dough flavored. They were marked down. I picked up a huge container of Parmesan cheese. I also picked up some Starbucks caramel macchiato creamer, right? I only pick it up now every now and then, right? Every now and then, because it's so good. It's delicious. So I did pick up, some of that. What else did I buy? But those are the main things that I bought, right? I was really sad that I couldn't get the ham. And maybe I couldn't get the ham because I hadn't run it back through the EBD. That's a possibility. I might check to see if that was the case later on. Or it could just mean that, hey, hold off on, these meat purchases because, I am trying to, eat light. Yeah, I am trying to eat light. Literally trying to eat light. So I do have, some eggs at the house. The coffee that they had was more expensive than what I usually pay for, my coffee. So I'm thinking I'm going to pick up some coffee and eggs probably tomorrow. I ain't going to do it today. Don't feel like doing it today. But, it's weird how fast, the price, goes up, especially when you're buying, in, I guess you would say, larger size quantities, right? But honestly, if I had bought like the Protein Quest chips, right? If I had bought those individually at, $3 a bag, or almost $4 a bag, right? And there's 14 in them. Even if I was to say, okay, let's just say there's 10 in there, right? That still would have been almost $40, right? And I didn't pay almost $40 for the Quest. Now, the Parmesan cheese, yes, that could have been, I could have bought a smaller container, paid less, but I would have got less. I got a huge Parmesan thing, and, I have, I've been kind of using Parmesan cheese almost like a spice, putting it on everything. Especially once I found out it had protein in it. It's like, oh, okay, let me give it some protein. Because I can't even tell you how bad it is when, you watch your muscles just atrophy. It's a horrible feeling. Okay? And then once they've atrophied, it would take a Lazarus event to bring your muscles back. Okay? So the best thing to do is to not lose them in the first place. And that's the same with elasticity. Now, they did have some collagen in there. And adding collagen to your coffee can, add vitamins and protein to your coffee or whatever drink that you want to drink. Now, their milk was $2.40-something. And it did seem like that was reasonable, very reasonable. But I want to force myself to drink up this milk that I have at the house. Right. I don't really have a problem drinking milk. I don't. I like milk, right? And now that, I'm mainly drinking like a cafe latte, means that most of my coffee is milk. It's at least half milk and half coffee. And then I just add, I guess what would be the reasonable about a creamer to the coffee to give it some flavor and sweeten it up. Yeah. So I could use stevia, but stevia doesn't have a flavor, it just will sweeten it up. Whereas the creamer, it will add some sugar, some calories, and it will sweeten it up at the same time. Which is why I bought the Starbucks creamer. So yesterday I had about 6 eggs, right? And 2 of those eggs I put in some ramen noodles. Okay, so that's how I had 6 eggs. I had 2 eggs for breakfast. I had 2 eggs for dinner, right? It's kind of lunch dinner, right? With some ramen noodles. I didn't do a whole bunch of doctoring it up because my stomach was feeling kind of weird, right? And I was like, okay, I don't know why my stomach is feeling weird, but it was able to go ahead and eat the ramen and the eggs. And then later on, about 10 o'clock, I had another couple of eggs. So altogether, I had like 6 eggs throughout the day. Like I said, for whatever reason, the meat hasn't been tasting good to me. Right? The meat that I had put in the beans, I ended up giving to the dogs. Even the miniature meatloaves, I only had a couple of those, and I been giving the rest to the dogs, and now that's gone. So I do have this chicken. Rotisserie chicken. Now I do have that. And I already fed the dogs their dinner before I left. And yeah. And at least I'll have another chicken that, I don't know. I probably should eat some of the frozen beans that I've frozen recently and just freeze this chicken carcass. But I don't know. All I can say is my stomach is not loving harsh, digesting food lately. It's not loving it. Look at these cats in the. Who do these cats belong to? Hold on.